Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Chariots of Hire, chariotsofhire.com, their website. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from those fine folks over there. And remember, have fun and be safe by letting these folks drive you from party to party over the holidays. Chariots of Hire, they wish you a happy holidays and they can help you have a happy, safe holiday. All right, Will Overstreet and Mark Pancratz back with us. If you can hear it, there's a family of Pancrats in the other room that are cheering. That's kind of cool. Next, did Chuck just go over and shush your children? We're going to have a brawl here on the set. This will be awesome.
Do we have another camera we could
This
go
we
through?
can go live over there. All right. First question, this one from Mike and Mark down there on that end. Let's put this one up. Rick Barnes, look how everything's bright and pretty behind him. Is it fair to say that after much turmoil in the program, Rick Barnes has returned Tennessee to a place where it can be safely said, and I'm talking big picture here, big picture, all is calm, all is bright?
I think so, because I think the foundation has been set. I think they've got the culture, they've created depth to where it is calm and it is bright. Now, expectations, what happens here in the next, all of a sudden now we just said in the show they're going to finish 4th. Well, if they finish 7th, now it's not so bright anymore. But I think for where they're at today, where they were expected to be, calm and bright.
I think they're headed back to the light, headed back to the calm and the bright, but they're not there yet. They, really should have beaten North Carolina, I thought, last week. And if we go back to last year in January, we were talking about them on the bubble. Lenardi's got them in and all that, and then they faded at the end. So that makes me a little bit reluctant to say they're back yet, but they're definitely headed toward the light. I like where they are. I like where they're going.
I guess the way I was looking at it is I think they're past the bad period where you're 500 at the end of the year.
I think so,
those
too.
days are behind you.
Yeah.
You may not yet. You may wind up in the NIT this year, but I don't think you're going to wind up 500 and below 500 in the SEC. But we'll see. All right. The next one is for Will and Josh. This one, we always have to have something for our Jewish friends out there. Hanukkah has ended, but the Vols have fired a tennis coach, baseball coach, football coach, and athletic director this year. In other words, an average year on Rocky Top. So, will the Vols spin the hire, fire, dreidel in 2018 on any major personnel?
Major personnel. I'll tell you, there's a little person I'd be sweating a little bit. If I'd hired the AD and I'm about to lose a couple $1 million in settlements to lots of different areas, and I hired the guy that had the worst dumpster fire disaster of a coaching search, and then I did those interviews on TV, I might be a little nervous this next year because you've got a lot of bad stuff built up. One more mistake and that's the end.
The interesting thing, and fans can turn quickly, the interesting thing is on social media, she went from, Beverly Davenport, chancellor, went from nobody liked her, she's awful, to a hero because she stood up for the common fan. Right. She stood up.
But when the big guys have to start writing checks off.
That's going to be the interesting thing, and that gets back to the power boosters. Who hired her and who's running the real show. Josh Ward, your thoughts. Will they spin the dreidel of hire, fire in 2018?
Yeah, that tug of war behind the scenes that can happen at UT if one side's able to get a little leverage and pull it back the other way. Right now, I don't know that there's an obvious move. The one that Will just threw out there is probably where I would go as well. But if I had said April 1st, John Curry's not going to make it till the end of the year, that would have sounded crazy right at the time. It's Tennessee. Nothing sounds crazy if you really start to dive into it.
Butch Jones coming off 2 top 25 seasons, 9-4, 9-4.
Preseason top 25.
Yeah. Gone. John Curry, you got 8 months, gone. Yeah. So
now, at the beginning of the year, I thought Tennessee was a little past due for a firing, and they hit several this year, but never counted out enough.
Can they fire a booster?
The question is, has someone already fired a booster over there? All right, last one, and this isn't so much a question, it's just an amazing stat. The most remarkable thing I saw in 2017, it's the scariest revelation since Scrooge wiped away the snow from the tombstone. Since 2011, in the SEC, Vanderbilt is a game better than the University of Tennessee. Let's come back and just see Will Overstreet's reaction, because that's really, he wasn't here. I used that stat once before, after they lost to Vanderbilt. You weren't here that week. I wanted to see your reaction. Did you know that? Were you aware of that?
No, I didn't know we were that bad. No.
Since 2011. It's not like the last 2 years. I mean, you're going back 6 seasons or 5 seasons, whatever that adds up to be, 11 through 17. Yeah. So
It just shows you can take anything and turn it into something bad if you mismanage it bad enough.
there you go. I mean, any thoughts on that? Anybody else comment on that? Is this the year it changes?
Well, it's
Jeremy Pruitt change it?
to me, it's another piece of evidence about who has to play Alabama every year. Tennessee does.
Well, good point.
That's
Because you get an
pretty much
automatic
an
beat down.
automatic L.
But Vanderbilt's played a big role in that. Vanderbilt's won 4 of the
Yes.
last 6.
Yep.
That would be different if you
Yeah,
if
if
you'd
Tennessee
taken
had
care
the
of
head-to-head
business.
advantage, the record would be different.
All right,
Yeah.
very good. When we come back, we have 6 year-end awards we do every year. We'll be handing, well, it's different awards every year, but we hand out 6 this year. And also, we're going to ask these guys about faith and what they have faith in regarding UT athletics. Come on back on the Sports Source.